Good morning, beautiful babies. Okay, so today we have, this is Band 5, Week 9, and we're going to do Practice 1. All right, so starting with this problem right here. So we've been working on area models and multiplication. So you know that if you had to make this a multiplication problem, that one of the factors would be 45, that the other one would be what's 10 and 2 and 1 put together. 10 and 2 and 1 is 13, okay? So if you had to do that, your problem would be this number, this factor times the top factor would give you the numbers in the middle, okay? So to get the numbers, the answer in the middle, you would have to add 450 plus 90 plus 45. So let's do that. So we've got 450 plus 90 plus 45. So we're just going to pretend that this is a multiplication problem. So we did 45 times the top is 13, and let's figure out our answer. So 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14, plus 4 more is 18. Carry the 1, and then this is 5. So 45 times 13 is 585. But we got to be careful, though, because this says which division equation is shown by the area model, okay? So since division is the opposite of multiplication, it's easy. You can take 585, you can divide it by, let's just say we'll divide it by 45 to get the other factor, which is 13. And there is your answer, okay? That's here's your multiplication, and then this is your division problem, your division equation. It could also be 485, sorry, not 485, 585 divided by 13 would give you 45. It could be either one of those, okay? Either one is a division problem that goes with this. All right, Rebecca is filling a cube-shaped box with small cubes. The volume of each of these cubes is 1 cubic centimeter. She's already put some of these cubes into the box, 7 blocks high. What is the total number of small cubes that'll fit in a box? Okay, so first off, let's write about what we know about a cube. Cube, write this down. In a cube, all the sides are equal, all of them. So if you know one, you know them all. So write that down. All sides are equal. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to draw a cube for me. So draw a square. All right, put a little dot in the center of a square, and then draw another square that's almost exactly the same size as the first one. Well, if you can get it exactly the same size, that's even better. Now just connect the corners. Connect here, 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 and here. Now, we know the length of all the sides. No, we don't, Miss Rouse. Yes, we do. We know the length of all the sides because we know that this stinking thing is 7 blocks high. So this side right here, from here to here, is 7. Well, if that side is 7, all of them are 7. This is 7, 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 this is 7. So that means that we know the length is 7, the width is 7, the height is 7. Miss Ross, are you telling me that we know the length, the width, and the height? Yes, we do. So that's 7 times 7 times 7 will give you the volume. So let's do it. 7 times 7 is 49, and then you have to do times 7. So I'm just going to come over here. 49 times 7, we learned how to do this in 3rd grade. 7 times 9 is 63, leave the 3, carry the 6. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 6 more is 34. So your answer is 343, because if you know one of the sides, you know all of the sides. And since it's 7 high, that means it's also 7 long and 7 wide. All right, which expression has the same value as this? Okay, so I'm going to pull out my little paper from yesterday, and I'm going to, because I have to write all of these down. So here we go. First off, we've got to figure out the value of 5 plus 3 times 2. So let's do that. Okay, so we've got 5 plus 3 times 2. You've got to do it order of operations. So parentheses first, then multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction. Okay, all right, so we're going to parentheses first. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Cross that out. The rest of the problem is times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So we're looking for the one of these problems that is equal to 18. So let's start with A. So if we've got A, we're looking for the one that's worth 16, sorry. So if you've got 5 plus 2 slammed up next to a parentheses, which is 3 plus 5. And if you've got a number slammed up next to a parentheses, that means that you are going to multiply it. So just go in there and put your little multiplication symbol in there right now. Makes me feel better. All right, now let's do order of operations. First, we're going to do the parentheses. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Cross that part out and write in the rest of the problem. 5 plus 2, and remember we said it's multiplied by 8. Now what do we do next? All right, we did our parentheses, so now we're going to do multiplication and division. So let's do that. We're going to do the multiplication. So we've got 2 times 8 is 16. You can cross that out, add in the rest of the problem. 5 plus 16. 5 plus 16 is 21. There's my garlic sauce and my pizza. All right, so this is not our answer. Let's try B. B says 2 slammed up next to a parentheses, so it means times 4, and I believe that that is 4 divided by 4. Is that? No, I guess, no, that's 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4. All right, so here we go. So we've got 4 plus 4 first is, do that first, is 8. Cross that out, and then write in the rest of the problem. 2 times 8 is 16. Awesome. Okay, so we've got our answer there. We think that B is correct because these two are the same, but let's just solve C and D to make sure. So we've got C here. C is 2 plus 3 slammed up next to a parentheses, so it means times 4 minus 2. Let's see what happens. So we've got, first do the parentheses. 4 minus 2 is 2. Then write in the rest of the problem. 2 plus 3 times 2. Then we do multiplication next. 3 times 2 is 6. Then write in the rest of the problem. 2 plus 6, and then the answer is 8. Okay, so we know C's out. Now let's write D. D is 9 times 2 minus 4. All right, so here we go. Do the parentheses first. 9 times 2 is 18. Minus 4 is 14. So our answer is B right here. We are geniuses. All righty. Moving on to the next one. And you should have, for these problems, for number 4, you should have written a couple of days ago your quadrilateral family anchor chart. So I'm going to read these out. Okay, so we've got which statement is true? All rhombuses are squares, all squares are rectangles, all parallelograms are rhombuses, or all quadrilaterals are parallelograms. So let's go through here one at a time and take a look at them. I'm going to zoom out on my quadrilateral family and make sure that you guys can see it. Okay. So, gosh, it seems like my camera might be a little bit smudgy. Gross. Okay, so all members of the quadrilateral family have 4 sides. Okay, remember you've got the brothers, Graham and Trapezi. Graham and all of his family have 2 parallel sides, 2 sets of parallel sides. And Trapezi, he never had children, but he's got 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay, so let's check this out. Number 1 says, all rhombuses are squares. Remember that it's always the things above it, okay? So are all rhombuses squares? All right, so let's take a look at that. What you have to ask yourself is it is always the things above it. Well, a square is below rhombus. So rhombuses are sometimes squares, but they're not always squares. So all rhombuses are not squares. Next one, all squares are rectangles. So here is a square. It is below rectangle. So yes, all squares are always rectangle because the rules for, the rule to be a rectangle is that it has to have 4 right angles, and a square always has 4 right angles. So this is correct because it has 4 right angles. I know these are kind of tough. You'll get it. If I'm being honest with you, these blow Miss Ross's mind. I just don't understand, but I'm trying to. All right, last one is coming down here. Before you get started, always, I want you to come in and write your numbers down here because these are super teeny tiny. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then over here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So then I'm going to zoom in on this. So, and I'm sorry that it's not super big. I wish that we could make it look better. All right. So, but what I did here was I came down here and I labeled the lines on the x-axis and on the y-axis. Remember that the bottom line is the x-axis. The line running up and down is the y-axis. So what is the best way to describe the position of the square? Okay. And it says in relation to the x and y axis. So I have to know how far away it is from the x-axis and how far away it is from the y-axis. So there's going to be 2 bullet points. You're going to tell its position away from the x-axis and then its position away from the y-axis. So here's the square. It is, and it looks to me like it is on, it is at the 3. So it is 1, 2, 3 spaces away from the x-axis. 3 spaces from the x. And now let's figure out how many spaces it is away from the y. So here's the y-axis. It is 1 space from the y. 1 space from the y-axis. All righty. Oh, gosh, I guess you guys couldn't see that. So it is 3 spaces from the x-axis because it is, here's the x-axis, and it's 1, 2, 3 to get to it. And then from the y-axis, it is 1 away from the y. All right, guys, you are loved. Talk to you soon. Bye.